Hey guys, thanks for stopping by the video today. My name is Mitch, I'm the sales manager here at Walts. I know that most of you know us as Walts TV and Electronics, but here locally in Tempe, we actually are Walts TV and Appliance. All right guys, well again, thanks for stopping by. I know you're used to Justin being here today. I'm gonna be taking over. We are talking about ranges today. And here in 2022, talking about the best things to look for in a range, what different types of ranges there are, and the mistakes that you don't wanna make when you're buying one. So let's go ahead and get started. So just as a basic overview of ranges, there's three basic things you need to know. You need to know that there's an electric range, there's a gas range, and that there's an induction range. And these are just gonna be your stovetop versions. I don't have one of the cheap options here, which is gonna be your coiled electric. So Justin's gonna throw a picture on the video here so you guys have a visual of what that looks like. Now, that guy in particular is gonna be one of your least expensive options just due to the heating aspect of that stovetop. It's a little bit less reliable, it's harder to kind of measure the temperature that you're cooking your food at, and it's not the preferred way of cooking by, unanimously among the cooking industry. Getting started with what I do have here to show you, I do have electric, gas, and induction. We're gonna start with electric because that's gonna be kind of your tier 1 type of range. Now this guy right here, again, is my electric. This is gonna be a 5-burner top. That is going to be your electric. These guys are actually what's called a variable burner, meaning you can burn from a smaller pot to a bigger pot, depending on what you want to choose on your options up here. This is also what is called a freestanding range. There's a little bit of difference of having your knobs and your controls up here versus having your knobs and your controls down here in this option, which is a slide-in option. Now the benefits to electric is that obviously it is very cost efficient. It is also a very nice sleek look. A lot of people love the way that an electric top looks as far as not having your rigid edges as a gas top does. But when it comes down to cooking, cooks always prefer a gas range over an electric range. And the reason for that is they can see the flames on a gas range versus an electric range is just a heating element built inside of this versus the gas, you can see the flames coming out from these burners. So that actually gives us a perfect transition to talk about gas ranges as well. So gas range here has a few different options. With a gas range, you actually have what's called a griddle, and you have your tops here, which this is what you're gonna put your pots and pans on, and your flames are gonna be coming up from this ring right here to give you that nice, evenly cooked top. They also come with what this is right here. This is your griddle. So this griddle allows for cooking of bacon, steak, things of that nature that you don't want to cook in an actual pan. You can actually cook right on top of this, and this is removable for this guy right here. Gas is preferred by cooks all across the industry. Gordon Ramsay, you know how the show goes. He is all about gas cooktops. That gives you the absolute best way of cooking food, pasta, steak, whatever it may be. So this is definitely the preferred way, but there is a new way of cooking that is a little bit newer, not everyone's heard of it, and it's called induction. So we're gonna go ahead and go talk about that next. So induction ranges look very, very similar to electric ranges. The only difference, which is really, really funny, really kind of small, Justin, if you want to come in on this guy, is just that it says induction. And that is all you need to know about the top. They're gonna look fairly accurate and very same to one another as far as electric and induction. What induction is, it's a magnetic heating element, which is more accurate than gas, but has not been fully adapted by the cooking industry quite yet. Because it is new, it is a little bit different. But what this is this is a induction cooktop that does not produce heat. So if I was to be cooking a pan here and be, boiling water, whatever it may be, the magnetic field actually heats up this pan to get the cooking more accurate and more in full, which helps boil water way faster, helps cook things way faster than your traditional electric or gas stovetop. Another cool feature is if you move this away from it, you have little kids or you're not paying attention and you put your hand here, it will be a little bit warm to the touch, but it's not gonna be scalding your hand like the gas or electric stove, which is an awesome safety feature. And these are really, really great kind of additions as far as, figuring out how much temperature you need, putting them on and off, keeping them warm. Now, with an induction oven, there is one caveat. That is the fact that you do need a specific type of cookware for your induction stovetop. You do have to have that induction cookware in order to cook because that magnetization on certain pans, your typical cast iron, things like that, the magnetization heating aspect isn't gonna pass through that cast iron, that skillet. It's gonna have to be that induction style cookware. One last thing with the electric coil option is that the coils are the exact same coils that are put in your typical glass top electric stove. Just in your coiled electric stove, you can actually see them, and they look a little bit similar to what the gas top looks like as far as the griddle versus the electric glass top. One last thing I want to talk about before we get into the stove, it's the baking aspect of a range, is the types of ranges. So outside of electric, induction, and gas, there's different types. So there's freestanding, there's slide-in, and there is cooktop as well, which is something we'll get into here in a moment. But to show you what those look like, this is going to be your freestanding range. All of your knobs and your heating controls are going to be up here. So this is a freestanding, you can kind of just push it into your at-home. This is your slide-in. Slide-in is a little bit different. Some people don't like slide-ins as much as freestandings. If they have little kids, they can touch these knobs and mess with the cooking aspects. So some prefer this option, but this is a more clean option. If you have a backsplash or something that you really want to show off in your kitchen, then a slide-in option may be better for you. Now we're gonna get into the stove part of the range. We've already talked about the cooktops. We've talked about the type of range. Now we're getting into the stove. Stove is extremely important for feeding your friends and family on Thanksgiving. It may be the only time you cook throughout the year. Yeah, I'm pointing at you. Or you may be using it throughout the year, and it's important either way. You gotta feed all those people after the turkey bowl, right? And so some of your basic stoves are just gonna have your 3 levels of cooking, so you can actually take these out if you have a bigger turkey or more people to feed and have a bigger size pan that you're trying to feed with. This is going to be your convection oven. The main thing you're going to want to look for in these stoves is this convection fan here in the back. So what that convection fan does is it actually helps disperse the hot air evenly throughout the stove. Instead of having your your heating element either down here or up above, which this one does have a heating element above as well. What that's actually used for is for the broil aspect, to get that nice crisp on your chicken. A lot of lower range ovens will have your heating element down here, which causes it not to be evenly heated throughout the entire stove. So make sure you're looking for that convection fan. Don't make that mistake. Cool. Another thing you want to look for is a steam clean option. If you're getting all new appliances, I'm assuming you're going to want to keep those clean. Make them look good for the grandparents, for your parents, whatever it may be. You want to keep not only the outsides clean, but the insides clean too, because that's where your food's going to be going. And so to give you an idea of what that looks like, this is going to be an option of the steam clean. And so it's going to say steam clean down here. You're going to pour 1 cup of water down here in the bottom. And what that's going to do is when you do that, you close your stove, you press your steam clean option. It's going to run a cycle that's going to clean the inside of there to get all that dirt and grime out of your stove for a nice clean cook the next time you use it. Next thing, we're going to be talking about a little options that, when you go into the higher end stuff, you get a better idea of what temperature you're cooking your food at. And no better example than our induction oven that we talked about earlier is going to have your turkey skewer. That's what I call it. That's what my mom's always called it. This just goes into your turkey, gives you a temperature gauge up here on your little pad to tell you what temperature your turkey is currently cooked at to give you the most accurate cook. Now we have one more thing to talk about, and that's going to be our specialty double ovens. And they are going to look a little bit different. They're going to have kind of a split look in that front. And so an example here is going to be my Samsung oven here. The top here is going to come down. And so you have a fake bottom here that all of that heat that you're producing is going to stay in this top part, which is also where your convection fan is, if you recall what we talked about with that. This makes it so you cook way faster with a smaller space if you're just cooking a couple steaks or some asparagus or some French fries or whatever it may be. And then you also still have the option of using the full oven. This, as I said, is a fake drawer. This is removable, so if you need the entire thing, you can have the entire thing. This just acts as an option to give you that smaller oven as well. This one in particular doesn't allow different temperatures in each side, but there is options as far as double ovens, in-wall ovens that offer you can do 2 different temperatures, 2 completely different stoves running the same oven, different ovens at the same time. All right, so we've pretty much covered everything there is to cover about ranges. If you remember my callback from earlier, I did talk about cooktops. I told you I'd talk about them. Trust me, I didn't forget about you. This is a cooktop. Now, what a cooktop is, it's basically a drop-in cooktop that you can put on your island, at your home. That's just a different look. If you have an in-wall oven, a lot of people use a cooktop instead. This just gives you the option of having it here on your island instead of as a full range of a freestanding or slide-in. It's just a cool option. Comes in induction, comes in electric, and also comes in gas. Thanks again, guys, for watching. Pretty much covered everything there is to cover about ranges here today. If you have any other questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section and we'll get to you. If not, come visit us here in our Tempe location and we'll talk soon.
Now that's going to be all for this one, and if you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment below. If you learned something new, don't forget to subscribe and like the video so you can help other people find this as well. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.